Hello, this is Cara from Lady Cara Tarot, and today it's Wednesday walkthrough. I'm going to be talking about a deck from 2019, the Antique Anatomy Tarot by Claire Goodchild. As always with my walkthroughs, this is a deck that I know and I use, and so it's not just going to be a flip through, but I'm also going to be able to tell you a little bit about how I have worked with it, how it has worked with me, and the way that it reads. The book I have not completely read, but I have definitely dived into it. It has some nice spreads. One of the things that the book talks about is the use of color in the deck. The color associations, the emotional color associations in particular, and then the flowers also are a component of reading these cards, although she does not have particular definitions of the flowers. So the flowers are more just for color, but certainly you can get things by the type of flower that it is and the stability of the blossom, or is it a feathery little blossom? Those are things that you can get out of it. The main component of this deck, however, is the anatomical drawings. And it is very much a pip deck. And these are pretty much Victorian anatomical drawings, although they do interact with the images of the pips. One of the things that I particularly like is the coins have, 2 feet and 2 hands and a skull with a particular kind of injury here in the skull. So those are all elements that you can read then with the blue and the purple. One of the things that it took me a while to warm to this deck, one of the things that I had trouble with is that it reminded me of autopsy, or just autopsies, which is kind of loaded then with murder and people being injured. And that was something I had to come to terms with. They are anatomical drawings from the Victorian era, and we know in the Victorian era that it actually dig up cadavers to do these anatomical drawings and to learn more about medicine. Here, again, we have different bones. We have a backbone, we have a skull, 2 pelvises, another skull, and another vertebra. So that very much can become part of the reading with this deck. We have potions, and we have all different kinds of potions. So reading the labels on the potions, again, then is something that can be used in readings with this deck. One of the things I particularly like is that, as with these coins, where none of the images are the same, none of the swords are the same. None of the potions are the same. Here it's wish tonic, love potion, joy elixir, bliss brew. Now, the majors tend to be just a bone and flowers. The rods can be quite different. Here are 2 examples right there. These rods are different, and that's something that I really like about this deck, is that, and here now we have those 2 appear to be wooden rods. These appear to be metal rod implements of some kind. So the differences within the suit are something that, again, gives you more details to read. This deck has grown and grown and grown on me and with me. All these different kinds of metal tools and rods. The knives are all different in the blade suit. As I said, the elixirs are all different. So we have the traditional layout that you can look at in the coins. But again, as I said, each card, you have, of course, a different flower or plant arrangement with it. But then you also have different things on the coin. So it gives you a great deal to look at and to read. Once I got over the creep factor of this deck, interesting, the ace of coins there appears to be a baby's skeleton. So once I got over the creep factor of beauty potion of these, I really have come to enjoy reading with this deck. Of course, it's a great Halloween deck. It's great to take out to Halloween parties. It is a dark reader, and it's not just because of the skulls or the gruesomeness of the tools. It's just that it's a very serious deck. I think if you brought it, it's going to kind of go with the toughest pronouncement on any situation that you bring to it. And it's going to be, like Bones, dry. It's, you know me, I'm quite humorous, even with dry humor and dark humor. This deck is dry and humorless. And, well, not humorless. I mean, it does have humor in these. But in terms of the reading, I have found it very dark. Not hopeless, but there is ingrained here this element of memento mori, that remember that you will die. So it brings that kind of attitude to any reading that you're working with it, is that it doesn't suffer fools gladly because it understands that the majority of things that you're bringing are transitory. None of them is as final as the end. And so this deck has that attitude coming with it. We are the flowers that are ephemeral and who pass away very quickly in relationship to skeletons. And that's just something you need to know. That's just something I know when I'm reading with this deck. So, like for a Halloween reading, as I said, that's fine, you know. The darker, the merrier. But if you're trying to read this for yourself, or just do daily readings with it, they could be on the grim side. I think it's an excellent deck. Now, I need to mention, when it first came out, there were a lot of comments, copyright 2019, there were comments about the cardstock being thin. I'm not a cardstock snob. I don't think this cardstock is particularly thin. I think it's thicker than a plain card. I do think I may have gotten the second printing, so this may not be the cardstock that people were complained about as being too thin. So this may be the improved cardstock because I didn't get it way back then. So I'm pretty sure I have a later print. I think I got this in early 2024, so almost 2 years ago now. So they have improved the cardstock. So it shuffles very well. Oh, these are the backs, by the way. Potions, blades, coins, and rods. I think it shuffles quite nicely. It's even a little stiff for shuffling like that. And And I always have to wonder when people say cardstock is really thin, I sometimes wonder, are they expecting more of an oracle weight? It's definitely not an oracle weight card. And I don't usually bridge, so I'm not necessarily a good indicator of that. But yeah, it's a little stiff for bridging, actually. I think you'd have to wear it in even more than I have in having worked with it. But this is a keeper in my collection. I'm really glad that I came to terms with the creep factor that began with it. And I really do, every time I look up something in the book, I'm really taken with her writing and the way things are expressed. But it is, even though it's pippy, it's very easy to read. So I haven't really looked up a lot in the book because of that aspect of it. It's a straightforward reader. If you can read pips, you have so much extra information to read. That's another reason I have not yet really done a deep dive into the book with this. I've just looked up isolated things like the colors and different charts and different spreads. So a lot to work with here in a truly unique deck. This, I will say, I often pair this with an out-of-print oracle card, the Botanical. It's Victorian flower illustrations and Botanical Inspirations Oracle. And they read just beautifully together. And the Botanical Inspirations deck lightens this deck up a little bit. So when I'm working with them together, which I usually do, that oracle deck brings a little bit of life and lightness to brighten this up, to not even brighten it up, but just pairs well with it, so that you kind of get not only the tough voice, but a sweeter voice. And they coordinate really well, and they look gorgeous together on the table. So it's definitely an A plus in my book. It's a keeper. The Antique Anatomy Tarot by Claire Goodchild, and published by abramsnotary.com. This is Cara from Lady Cara Tarot. Thank you.